What's up, guys? My name is Michael, or Kiratze Online. Hopefully you guys are having a great day as usual, and we are here with the gameplay portion of my How Do I Play... Mellka guide, and this is going to be an after commentary. I tried recording it doing a live commentary, and playing a game like this that requires concentration, it's really hard to commentate while you're doing it, and I like to have sort of high quality content. I don't want to have too many moments and also just blank silence. I was recording and I totally just forgot what I was saying when I was in the middle of a fight. So I figure doing after commentary is a little easier. Plus I can actually fiddle around with the audio a little more to make it sound a little better if the sounds don't match up too much. We have a really good team setup here. And if you also are wondering about my gear mod setup and also what helixes I'm probably going to choose, you can look at my last video. I talk more in depth about, you know, what I think about Mellka as a Battleborn and her role and stuff like that. For this, I'm going to be mainly talking about things in action, things I think about while I'm playing, and also just the general strategy of playing Mellka. You get to see it in action. I was going to go with my usual yellow and purple skin because I love that skin. Purple is my favorite color, and that's a sick shade of purple. But I figure, you know, Arendi and Galilea are going for that red and bluish color, and I was like, well, I have that one. Let us match. We have a really good team set up here. We got a really solid tank, a good bruiser, a good sort of a spell dealer, and just two people who can do well in roaming. Oscar Mike's great at pushing waves. He was my go-to builder before I found out about Mellka and started playing her. And here's a little funny thing. Also right there you saw she has a slide. If you sprint and use your quick melee attack, Mellka actually has a slide on the ground, which is pretty cool. But what I found out here, you can notice, if you turn right before you actually slide, you'll keep going the direction, but your model will actually be facing a different way. I don't know if other people see it like that, but I found that pretty funny. I thought that was pretty silly. It would be funny if the other people actually saw it like that too, because just see someone sliding backwards. That actually looked probably pretty badass. It'd be even better if you could actually shoot while you were sliding. So right off the bat, we choose our Hobbling Strike as our first ability. And right there, you notice I use my Quick Claw launch attack because it actually does give you a nice head start. Mellka's speed was nerfed a little bit, I think, since closed beta. And sadly, Isaac was a little bit of a jerk. You can tell your team to not take the shards off the start. Generally what you want to do is I take the full line of shards all the way up there and then take the turret right away. Not only does it give you a hedge up in that lane, it just gives your opponent something to worry about. Now this is a pretty kill heavy game, so you'll notice I won't be roaming too much in terms of going to get shards and stuff like that. Sometimes when you're going up in a, you know, you have to be adaptable when you're playing a role like this, and you want to be roaming all the time, but you have to know when you should be switching between, you know, going for minions and going for shards and also going for kills. This is a very high kill game. I end up with 16 kills, I believe. Spoiler alert. Here I get in a little bit of a tussle with Caldarius. People like Caldarius, Oscar Mike, you can win fights against them, but I was at a little bit of a health disadvantage there. I was a little bit worried. Here, chasing down Oscar Mike. Luckily, we use our quick launch, and you can see the mobility that jumping and using that quick claw launch attack can actually give you. It's really good for chasing. It's really good for getting away. It's very, very mobile. So I don't like to use it right off the bat for an engage unless I know I'm going to end up getting that kill or have a very good chance of getting that kill. Because a lot of the time you want to save it for catching up with someone or for getting away, because it's very, very versatile. And you'll notice me shooting my grenade launcher a lot, especially once I do get the Merv upgrade for it. I don't remember the specific names of the helixes, sorry. And also right here, you can see me using my spike ability very aggressively against waves of minions. When you're sort of supporting lanes by yourself and just pushing it by yourself, you want to speed up that lane as much as possible. And you can see Oscar Mike here trying to deal with my minions while I'm allowed to just sort of beat on him. Now you got to be careful doing stuff like this. Obviously the thumper turrets weren't much of a problem because I was still moving around, but getting caught by those thumper turrets right off the bat, as I'm getting hit right here by the thumper turrets, it slows down everything. It slows down your attack speed, it slows down your movement speed. I was very lucky to get away. But you can be in pretty bad situations doing that. I thought Caldarius was still chasing me, so I used my quick launch, and this is really good to use just to get into the middle of the map, but he took the other route. Luckily, he didn't see me. But yeah, jumping up there is a great way to get a good advantage point, and here's where I start wanting to build things. So usually you want to take out that first wave fairly quickly, get the shards from it, and then also you want to watch out when you actually get to minions going into the grinder, they actually do drop shards once they get to the grinder, so you can pick those up along the way if they happen to be still left on the ground. Always keep your eye out for shards. Now, there was a shard in the enemy's corner that I could have gone and stolen. It's actually pretty cool to go steal the enemy shards when you can. It's very risky, but you just gotta be, wary of sort of you gotta be really map aware when you're playing a guerrilla style role like this. And right here, you can see me use my spike pretty aggressively. Again, it's about knowing your enemy against characters like Oscar Mike, very, people who can't really get away in a blink type deal. You can slow them down and you can put a lot of damage on them. Obviously, Boulder and stuff like that, I wouldn't do it because I know I wouldn't kill him very easily. And D'Andy and Boulder are about to 2v1 me there, and you really don't want to try and force things. I wasn't going to win that fight, not without my ultimate at least. So I got the hell out of there. Push minions when you can. I get the turret, help push the wave, or at least help hold the wave. I wasn't able to get all these minions because D'Andy comes here, but we are able to put a lot of pressure and push her out of the lane. I try to get her with my grenade launcher. The grenade launcher is excellent for trying to figure out where stealth Battleborn are. The damage over time, the numbers, they keep popping up even if your opponent's stealth. So it's really good against characters like Oscar Mike and D'Andy and Shane if you think they're starting to run away, reload, shoot a grenade at them, and once they go stealth, you can still keep track of them. And I've gotten a lot of kills because I'm still able to just keep track of them and figure out where they are. So always keep your eye on your mini-map as well. You really want to, again, be map aware. If you feel like the shards are about to come up, you can start running towards them if you don't think anything serious is going on in terms of team fights or duels. And I was right here. A shard just popped up. Always pick up as many shards as you can. Again, you're a builder. Your role is to essentially support lanes by building the turrets up, build the support stations. You essentially want to use up your shards mainly for buildables so your teammates can save up their shards so they can build their equipables faster. So they don't have to worry about building. You can take care of most of it, as well as once you get to the point where you can really just keep farming shards very effectively, you can cycle through and just start getting the big minions going. You want to revisit the middle of the map there and get those elite minions, do both of them at the same time. Stuff like that can really help out your lanes, and they're really, really annoying to deal with for your opponent. Right here, I'm trying to support Galilea. She's getting a little bit of trouble. Boulder totally misses his charge, so we're able to pick up a kill here fairly effectively. And so you see how effective Mellka is at just sort of running around and supporting where she needs to, but you'll also see once I get more my ultimate, and here's where I use my quick launch skill pretty aggressively. You can see that I use it fairly proactively rather than holding on to it. You really want to get around the map as fast as possible. But yeah, Mellka's extremely good at dueling once you actually do get your ultimate. Right off, in the early game, it's all about killing the minions, getting shards when you can, picking up kills when you can, but your goal is to stay alive and farm up and level up. A lot of the time, especially I see this in newer players, they will end up just trying to get kills right off the bat. It's a lot of fighting going on. The worst thing you can do is just die. And right here, I get in a little bit of trouble, but luckily the accelerator hits me and I can get out of there fairly effectively. If you feel like you're not confident with your Battleborn, just farm. Get minions, get shards, build things when you can because you'll get experience for building stuff, and also just stay alive. Don't give kills. That's the worst thing you can do. Worst thing ever. I was in a game once when I had an Isaac on my team, and the rest of my team died very early on. At the end of the game, three of them had about 8 to 9 deaths. The Isaac I was with was 0 and 3. He didn't really do too much, but he stayed alive. He pushed when he could. He wasn't a very good player, but at least he stayed alive. And then one of the other players who died 9 times and really didn't contribute at all to pushing or anything like that. He was playing Wrath, and he just threw himself into the fray. He told Isaac he was shit and that he played like shit. And I was like, dude, you gave up really early deaths. That's like one of the worst things you can do in Battleborn. Not only are you giving up board control, you're losing out on time on farming and pushing waves. Right here, I got my first death, sad face, and also right here, I choose the Adrenaline Rush. I was debating on trying out the Venom Contagion because I just got that mutation, but I personally don't find a good use for it. It's a really good PvE skill, I think, but I think for PvP, it's not the best. So we're in a pretty good spot. 5-1, 8 assists, 13 objectives, 12 minions, getting up on there on shards. I see my shards are still relatively even with some other people, so I think, okay, I gotta get going on these shards. I gotta start picking up more shards, start building more stuff. My teammates are doing much better, and they're able to sort of survive on their own. Know where to sort of pick up the slack. If you find one of your teammates is sort of dying a lot more, needs a little bit more support in lane, feel free to support him or her a little more than just picking up shards. Keeping your teammates alive is nice, and also you can pick up some kills and stuff along the way. You really want to focus on shards only when it's relatively quiet or when they're right beside you. Right here I snipe out Diandi. I wanted to secure kills. Don't be afraid to use that kind of stuff just to secure kills, right? Because like obviously the damage wasn't, I had way too much damage for that type of kill, but my grenade wasn't able to snipe her very effectively, and I don't think I would have been able to kill her with my SMG fast enough before she stealthed away or before she got away. So secure kills when you can. Not only are you getting experience, but again, it's one less person they have pushing waves, which means it's one less thing you have to worry about when you're pushing your own waves and running around the map. The less pressure you have on a lane, the more roaming you're able to do, and the more you're able to support your team. So we're in a pretty good position here. They're pretty far behind, feeling pretty good, but it's still possible to come back from these situations if you're the opposing team. But from where I'm at, I'm feeling pretty good about things. You'll see on my team on the left side of the map right now just doing a bunch of team fighting. They're playing very aggressively. That's what people mostly do. Again, we're a builder, we're a roamer. My goal is to grab shards, my goal is to help push lanes, and my goal is to just play more of a supportive role. Once you actually do get your ultimate, that's when you can start to shift into a little more dueling, into a little more assassination type stuff. But until then, again, early game is all about getting the first waves going, getting that early experience so you're not falling behind in levels. Falling behind in levels and dying is like one of the worst things you can do. Again, stay alive where you can, push waves when you can, but overall, just stay alive. Can't stress that enough. Right here, I was about to shoot Oscar Mike, but he was very, very low. Decided to just go in for the kill with the SMG. I do steal quite a few kills here in this game. That's generally why I have a high kill count. But regardless, I think a majority of my kills probably, I would say, are legit. So right here is Diandi. I was debating on also using my ultimate here as well. Oh, I think I do actually. Yeah, I do use my ultimate here. I don't know what her ultimate does. I don't know what that duplicate does. But I get totally screwed out by her stealth. And here you can see sort of spike and the lunge can get you out of some pretty terrible situations. I wasn't sure what I was hitting, if it was the hallucination or not, or the hologram. Right there, I save Arendi. Whew, that was close. Got there just in time. Again, depending on who you're up against, know when to engage, and here's another good example of using your lunge to get over walls. Again, all about mobility with Mellka. Mellka the mobile. And once I get my legendary gear mod with the sprint boost, the plus sprint speed, you'll see her movement really take off. It just really helps. And here's what you want to end up doing in the mid to late game is just gather up your shards, and once you have your first 2 items, start making those elite minions. I like to make both of them at once. It's really, really fun, and also makes it really troublesome for your your opponents, because the more they have to concentrate on the lane, the more you can focus on just roaming. Right here, I block off Caldarius. Body blocking is really useful as Mellka. Trying to get in front of them allows you just to keep using your melee attack, and because of the bonus melee attack you have on your uppercut at the very end of your combo, it can push them back into your teammates. So using your quick lunge to get in front of them and just start pounding on them with your melee attack is perfectly acceptable, rather than trying to use your SMG and missing shots and things like that, because you can use your SMG and save it for when they're actually running away. When they get out of range of your melee, you can just switch to your SMG and sort of finish things off from there. So right here, I see a super minion. I definitely want to try and kill it. Again, they're really good, and they're really distracting. You can see that I'm trying to kill it. Caldarius comes in and kills me, or tries to kill me. I stay by my support station just in case he wants to fight, because my ultimate just came up, but he decides to fall back, so I decide to start supporting from the top. I'm not going to dive in because they have like 4 or 3 guys there, and quite a few of them are damage dealers. So you can see where I'm trying to poke with my SMG. Again, poke where you can, especially once you do get that ability to have your venom attached to your SMG bullets. It makes it really good for poking, especially since your poison, it's great for stopping for stopping the opponent's shield from regenerating. So even if they go behind a corner, it's going to take them that much longer to actually get their shield back up. Again, you can see I love using the quick lunge. Use it very proactively. It's great for getting around the map. Of course, Cold Snap is a little bit of a larger map, but there's still you still have the ability to jump up to that middle ledge from the lanes, whereas normally with a regular jump you can't, unless you're Thorn, probably. So get shards when you can. We're in a pretty good position here, so now it's just all about keeping things up. You know, rotate, grab your shards, make the minions, support your lanes. Because you can only have one elite minion in a lane at a time, that's really when you want to focus on trying to look for team fights, trying to look for other things you can build. I was about to use my ultimate there as well, but I decided to hold off because he was about to die. I was thinking of using my ultimate there as well, but I was getting hit by the airstrike, so I didn't think I was going to be able to hit all the shots. Right here, get out my ultimate because we can do a lot of damage. You can see it takes out almost all of Oscar Mike's health. So people who are, yeah, like I said, squishies, Mellka, once she gets her ultimate, is great at melting squishies. And her ultimate is on a relatively low cooldown, especially if you do want to build some cooldown in your gear mods to be a little bit more of assassination type. That's perfectly acceptable. Again, I'm playing her like a builder guerrilla style, you know, character. But you can... She's perfectly fine in more assassination. Like, I wanted to show this game because it showed off a good portion of me building stuff and gathering shards, but also a lot of kills and a lot of assassinations and things like that. So here, I'm trying to kill off Caldarius, trying to get him behind a stupid support station. Luckily, we do get him, and time to get out of there before I get sniped by someone. And like I said, always take a look at your minimap, see where enemies are. Again, if your teammates have vision of them, you'll be able to see them as well, and see where you need to support. I believe I have my legendary item here. I can't remember what time I got it. And I don't think I pop up my scoreboard here. But you'll find when you're playing this style of character, if you're doing it properly and you're staying alive and farming effectively enough, you'll generally be 2 to 3 levels ahead of everyone. You'll notice I'm actually 3 levels ahead of Deandy right now. I think I'm 3 levels or 2 levels ahead of Oscar Mike. 1 level ahead of Caldarius. So I get a double kill here, thanks to Deandy running into my AoE. Oh. Sorry, a kill and an assist. So I just hit level 10, and at that point, I'm probably 3 levels or so ahead of everyone in the game. And that's what's really good. Mellka can really snowball with those extra levels, because you're getting your helixes better, you're getting your helixes faster, you're getting more stats and everything like that. So it's really, really nice to have. Up over the wall here, get some more shards. It's relatively quiet. You can also see where how minions are going as well. The skull and the shield on the minimap, those are the larger minions in the game. Not the elite ones, but you'll see those sort of ship-looking ones in the air. That's what those indicate. So it can give you a good indicator of, okay, a wave's coming up, maybe I should go there and start clearing it. And if there's nothing there, look for team fights. Priority number 1, I would say is, well, staying alive, of course, but also just roaming and building stuff. Again, as a builder, you want to build everything you can. Upgrade where you can as well. You don't have to worry about upgrading too much, but it's still something nice to have. Right here, I get my poison on Deandy. Take her out. You'll notice I just kept running. I could have turned around and kept shooting at her, but I knew I had my poison on her, and that was enough to kill her. The poison is super, super good at getting rid of people that are far away. Right here, try to save Arendi. Luckily, we were able to take out Oscar Mike before he dies. And again, aggressive use of Spike. When you're in a full sort of wave of minion, it's a great time to use Spike. You can save your quick lunge to get away, but use your Spike to start clearing waves. Against elite enemies, right here, get a little bit of a tussle with Oscar Mike, so I get the hell out of there. Right here, I almost ran into Caldarius, and I could have shot at him, but because I have my ultimate up, potentially could have caught him off guard, but I was way too low, and I wasn't going to risk it. So, again, choose your fights. If you feel like you're going to die, don't go in there. Right here, I almost get away. If I was a few seconds earlier, I would have gotten away with that quick lunge, but Deandy snares me. I'm not really sure what's going on there. But yeah, you can see we have many more shards now. And we're in a pretty winning position here. From this position, it's relatively hard for teams to come back unless you're extremely coordinated and just like are spot on with, you know, where you need to be on the map. But yeah, you can tell sort of by my movement speed as well with the legendary. It's just super useful having extra movement speed. There is flat movement speed gear mods. I really like the legendary that I got though, where it's extra sprint speed. It just makes you super fast, especially when you can end up stacking like a ton of percentage of speed just by sprinting. So yeah, there's not much else to say. Mellka is extremely fun to play, very rewarding as you can see, and a very underrated character in my opinion. Again, I don't see anyone play Mellka. I hope that this video inspires people to play Mellka a little more, even if they want to go more the assassination route. And here's a good example of sort of the spike damage that you can do. Right here, totally thought Caldarius was going to jump on me, so I spike, but sadly I didn't. And here's where you can see sort of how Mellka flanks. You don't want to run into fights head on if you can help it. I ended up flanking, and I was able to sort of catch him off guard and get extra shots in before they actually realized what was going on. Push Caldarius out of the way, but I saw Oscar Mike behind me, decided to body block him so Galilea and I can finish him off. And then Boulder comes in, and that's the game. So we had a very good game there. And it was sort of a great example of how to play Mellka in terms of building stuff, roaming around the map, gathering shards when you can, supporting those lanes, and also looking for those assassination attempts when you can. Again, she is an assassin, so you can also build gear mods catered to that. Build extra damage, build extra attack speed, reload speed. Those are all great stuff to have on her. I think the one thing I would always get on her, regardless of how I want to play her, is movement speed. Again, it feels like they nerfed, and also you can see my crazy stats here. This is actually, other than the kills, this is generally how it goes. I don't think I've ever gotten more than 4 deaths in a game. Again, staying alive is great. Again, this playstyle also caters to those who like to stay alive, because you are running in and out of fights, and it does require a lot of smart play. And that's why I feel it's really rewarding, and why it's tough to play Mellka, because a lot of people think she can dive in with her claw lunge, do a bunch of damage, and still get out alive. You can probably do a lot of damage, but you'll probably end up not getting out of there alive. And staying alive is a lot more important than people take credit for. So other than that, hopefully you guys enjoyed this gameplay. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great night, day, morning, wherever you are, and I will talk to you guys later.